I'm so late to recording this video. It happened days ago, nobody even gives a fuck at this point, but I thought I would do it anyway. In this video I'm going to be speaking about the penultimate episode, which was Friends and Family, and the finale. I didn't do a separate Friends and Family episode because quite frankly I find it boring and I don't give a fuck what the Friends and Family think. Every now and then it'll be a wee bit dramatic, but overall I'm not interested. I felt like in this episode the producers already knew who was going to win, because they got Amaya and Brian over at the screen and they showed them the Friends and Family speaking to them, and they were like, oh my god, right, like so happy, and then the screen cut off and I'm like, right, okay, obviously the screen's cut off, they're going to bring the Friends and Family in. So predictable, we've seen it a million times. But they clearly did this with Amaya and Brian because they know that she's the favourite and that she gets super emotional, and it was all planned that way. So they wanted everybody else in the villa to know that the Friends and Family were coming in. Chris was dreading his mum and sister coming in because he says they're really honest, and obviously he's seen that Huda had a lot of red flags and he was worried about what they would say. As I'm always saying, my friends and family don't have to like the person I'm going with, it's me that's going with them, and if they don't like them they can get to fuck. But he obviously really cares what they think. But then when they came in and they says, oh, we've seen a lot of good things, yous make a great couple. Were they the only people seeing that? Another thing that I don't really understand is that they bring these people in literally like the day or two before the finale. Is that because they fly them out so that they can watch the finale? Like, is there a reason for that? I feel like it's a waste of time. Like, sometimes when you watch Big Brother and stuff, they bring them in kind of mid-season because they've been missing them or they let them phone or whatever. But to bring them in so close to the end is a bit pointless. I also hate when the dads come in and they're like, oh, you better treat my daughter right, and it's just creepy to me. Or when the mums come in and they speak to their kids like babies, it really creeps me out. If I was on reality TV and my mum walked in Friends and Family Day, I would die of shock. I can't think of anything she would rather do less. But anyway, they got a text saying that they were all going to have a dinner as a family, and you know, something good has happened, so now something bad's going to happen. It happens in every single reality TV show all across the world. But obviously at the time you're just in the moment, you're like, yay, we're all family, let's eat. Then they get a text saying that they were going to find out who was evicted that night. So I was thinking, right, the way they're sitting at that table is giving away who's going to be evicted, because it went down the table in order and they were all sitting across from each other, which was unusual. So obviously I was thinking at the time that it was going to be Pepe and Iris because they were at the very end. But then I thought that would be too obvious. They're going to have to make it between the last two couples and then tell Ace and Shelley that they're going. And of course I was right. Very predictable, but also I watch way too much reality TV. I must admit, I did think that Ace and Shelley were going to make it to the end. How Pepe and Iris made it to the end, I've not got a clue. So anyway, that was over. It was no big deal, born as usual. It was time for the finale and the final dates. And I kind of try and skip through the final dates unless I really like the couples. I did watch Iris and Pepe's date, I don't know why. I watched Chris and Huda's final date for obvious reasons. When they were lying in bed, she was trying to get intimate with him or trying to cuddle him or whatever. And he was saying, I'm tired. And she said, oh, do you want to like face the repercussions of this tomorrow? Like, I'll not speak to you, or I'll be in a huff tomorrow, or whatever else it was she was saying. And I was like, that is fucking red flag central. See, if I'm tired and I say, I'm tired, leave me alone, fucking leave me alone. The only person that will be regretting anything is you. Visualise, if you will, a man and woman lying in bed and him saying, oh, kiss, 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 let's do this and that. And her saying, oh no, I'm just tired. And him saying, oh really? You're tired? Do you want to face the repercussions tomorrow if I don't get what I want? There would be a fucking uproar. Once again, it's alright for somebody to do it as long as they're a woman. Now I get that Huda's one of the favourites and people really like her, and there's things about her that I like as well, but that behaviour is just fucking not acceptable. Chris was talking to one of the boys and he was saying that he was dreading the date, obviously because of the way she's been acting. And then when they went on the date, it was an absolute fucking disaster. Like, the date itself was nice on the water and everything, nothing new, you know, we've seen these dates before. But then when they were sitting talking and that singer came out, I was like, I bet you that singer just literally cannot wait for this moment to be over. But when Huda was talking to Chris, she was talking as if he was the problem. I was absolutely baffled. I feel like when Huda said to Chris, I think we should just be friends, genuinely I think he was like, thank fuck. Because when they split up and he was back at the villa, he says, oh, I've seen enough red flags to know that this isn't going to work. 100%. Okay, she's been a lot more calm with Chris than what she was with Jeremiah. But that situation in the bed was just shocking. The fact that she still refuses to kiss him in front of people, even though she was all over Jeremiah all the time, but yet she still wants to have sex with him in the bedroom when the bedroom's full of people and they've been watched on TV. It fucking doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Amaya and Brian's final date once again was kind of set up to be like the winner's final date, because it was showing them pictures of what they were like when they were kids, showing them their friends and family and stuff, and then they took a picture and put it in the album together. And it was a really cute date, but as I was watching it I thought, this is the one that's telling you who's going to win. It was time for the final vows, and again I kind of skipped past most of this because I'm not really interested. On this occasion though, I only skipped Pepe and Iris because I was interested to see what Huda and Chris would say to each other. Huda and Chris's vows to each other were actually quite nice, considering they're a friendship couple. Let's be honest, they can't stand each other. Orlandria and Nick's were also really cute. There's something about Nick and Orlandria where I think like he does genuinely really like her, but I just don't get the same vibe for her. But I think it could be because she doesn't really express her emotions and feelings the same. Let me know in the comments if you think they two are going to continue for real outside the house. It was time to reveal the winner, but before I even do that I forgot to mention the dresses. Huda's dress was like a long purple sparkly dress, deep V, absolutely stunning. Loved it. Iris's dress was a long, like kind of crystally silver. It was nice, I just thought that the silver was a bit boring and I didn't really like the spike thing in between the boobs. Amaya's dress was my favourite in terms of the colour. Had her dress been the same style as Huda's, wow, it would have blown me away. I was expecting Orlandria to come out and blow my mind, but I must admit that dress was horrendous. Mostly due to the fact that it was like gold at the top and then black at the bottom, and I didn't like it. Had it been the gold all the way down, it would have been stunning. Anyway, back to the matter at hand. I always get distracted when it comes to sparkly dresses, but also I really loved Nick's jacket. So they were telling them who had won, and obviously Pepe and Iris came in fourth. Surprised they even got in the top four. Then it was Huda and Chris. Again, they're just friends. They weren't going to win. To be fair, they could have won, but it would have been a bit of a waste. Then it was down to Nick and Orlandria. After seeing the dates and the friends and family thing, I thought, Amaya's obviously going to win this. And she did, and she was so happy about it. Like, it was actually so emotional watching her win, because as they were saying, she's been misjudged for the start. At one point it felt as if she was actually being bullied by the people in the house, especially when they were doing that challenge, like that stand on something, like when they had to like write each other letters and stuff, and she was literally being attacked up there. It was so hard to watch, and now she's won. And I also genuinely think that her and Brian are real and that they really like each other. And when I think back on some of the videos I've made about this season, I'm sure at one point I was like, Amaya is unhinged, she doesn't let people speak. I think it was to do with the whole Ace situation, even though I wasn't taking his side whatsoever when he says to her that she's too affectionate or whatever. But anytime she tried to talk to anybody, she didn't let them speak. And that was the only thing that I was like, right, what's the point in asking somebody a question if you're not going to let them answer? But I really do genuinely think that she deserved to win. Let me know in the comments if you think the right person won, and are you excited to see the reunion? Apparently Zach and Brian have unfollowed each other on Instagram or whatever. There's people out there who actually go through people's followers and see who they're following and who they're unfollowing. That's fucking bizarre to me. But anyway, there's going to be a reunion. Do you think it's going to be dramatic? Who do you think is still going to be together? But of course, I'll see you then. Thanks for watching. Bye!